Have you noticed something strange? Every summer, you promise yourself this one will be different. You'll finally read those books, start working out, learn a new skill, build better habits. But somehow, the opposite happens. You stay up later, scroll more, watch just one more video, and before you realize it, another day is gone. Here's the scary part. It isn't because you're lazy, and it isn't because you lack discipline. Your brain is falling into something psychologists call a dopamine trap. The worst part? Most people don't even notice it's happening. By the end of this video, you'll understand why summer quietly destroys your ability to focus, why it feels harder to stay motivated, and most importantly, how to escape the trap before it steals another 3 months of your life. Because one simple mistake, one almost everyone makes during summer, is doing more damage than you think. Let's begin. Block 1. Summer doesn't feel dangerous. When you think of summer, you probably imagine freedom, vacations, long, sunny days, no school, no deadlines, no alarms. Sounds perfect. And for a while, it is. Your brain finally gets a break. Stress goes down. You sleep when you want, eat what you want, spend time with friends. Nothing seems wrong. But then, something changes. You start waking up later. Your morning routine disappears. You stop planning your days. You tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. Without noticing, your days stop having structure. And your brain loves structure. Not because it's boring, because structure saves energy. Every decision you don't have to make leaves more energy for things that actually matter. Remove that structure, and suddenly every day becomes a series of random choices. Wake up now or later. Work out? Maybe later. Read? Tomorrow. Cook? Let's order food. Slowly, your brain begins choosing whatever feels easiest, not what's best, what's easiest. And that's exactly where the dopamine trap begins. But here's what most people get wrong. Dopamine isn't actually about pleasure. It's about something much more powerful. Block 2. The biggest myth about dopamine. Most people think dopamine is the happy chemical. It isn't. Imagine you're hungry. You smell fresh pizza. Suddenly, you want it. That's dopamine. You hear your phone vibrate. You instantly want to check it. That's dopamine. Someone says, I have something important to tell you. Now you're curious. Again, dopamine. It creates anticipation. It pushes you toward rewards. Thousands of years ago, this kept humans alive. It motivated your ancestors to search for food, explore new places, solve problems, find shelter. Without dopamine, they might have simply sat under a tree and waited to die. So dopamine isn't bad. It's essential. The problem is, modern life has hacked the system. Your brain evolved for rare rewards. Today, rewards are everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, video games, fast food, streaming, notifications. Each one gives your brain a tiny burst of excitement. None of them seem dangerous, but together, they completely change what your brain expects. And summer gives you unlimited access to all of them. No schedule, no pressure, no reason to stop. Which leads to something almost nobody notices. And that's where the real damage begins. Block 3. Your brain starts chasing the easy reward. Here's a simple experiment. Imagine you have 2 choices. The first one, watch funny videos for 30 minutes. The second, study for an exam. Which one feels easier? Your brain doesn't even hesitate. It picks the first one. Not because you're weak, because it's efficient. Your brain is constantly asking one question. Where can I get the biggest reward for the smallest effort? Thousands of years ago, that was a survival advantage. Today, it's a trap. Every short video, every meme, every notification, every swipe tells your brain, here's a reward. No waiting, no effort, no discomfort. Now compare that to reading a book. You don't get rewarded immediately. Learning a language? The reward might come months later. Going to the gym? You won't look different tomorrow. Building a business? It could take years. Your brain starts comparing these options. Instant reward or delayed reward. Guess which one usually wins? This is why scrolling for 10 minutes often turns into 2 hours. Your brain keeps expecting, maybe the next video will be even better. It's the same reason people keep pulling the lever on a slot machine. Not because every pull is exciting, because the next one might be. Social media uses the exact same principle. You never know what comes next, and uncertainty keeps you scrolling. The scary part? Summer gives this system exactly what it wants. Unlimited free time, no fixed stopping point, no reason to put the phone away. But something even worse starts happening. Not outside your brain, inside it. And once this happens, focusing on almost anything becomes much harder. Block 4. Why everything else suddenly feels boring. Have you ever noticed this? After watching short videos for an hour, reading just 2 pages feels impossible. Homework feels painful. Even watching a normal movie suddenly feels slow. Why? Because your brain adapts. Think of it like turning up the volume. If you're listening to music at maximum volume all day, normal conversation suddenly sounds quiet. The same thing happens with stimulation. When your brain gets constant excitement, everything normal starts feeling ordinary. A walk outside? Too slow. A book? Too quiet. Studying? Too difficult. Your brain isn't broken, it's recalibrating. Psychologists call this adaptation. Your brain gets used to higher levels of stimulation. Then ordinary life no longer feels rewarding enough. That's why people often say, I just don't feel motivated anymore. In many cases, motivation isn't gone. It's being drowned out by constant stimulation. Here's something surprising. Your focus isn't disappearing because you're doing hard things. It's disappearing because you're doing too many easy things. And summer makes this happen faster than almost any other season. But there's one hidden habit that quietly makes everything even worse. Almost everyone does it. Very few people realize the damage. Block 5. The habit that's quietly rewiring your brain. Imagine this. You wake up. Before your feet even touch the floor, you check your phone. One notification, one message, one video, one meme, one news headline. 5 minutes later, your brain has already received more stimulation than your ancestors might have experienced in an entire morning, and the day has barely started. This single habit teaches your brain something dangerous. The moment I wake up, I deserve entertainment. Now think about what happens next. You try to study, work, read, exercise. Your brain protests. Where's the reward? Where's the excitement? It keeps looking for the feeling it had 5 minutes ago. This is why mornings matter so much. The first hour of your day often sets the tone for everything that follows. If the first thing your brain receives is constant stimulation, it spends the rest of the day chasing that same feeling. But if your morning is calm, something incredible happens. Your attention becomes stronger, your thoughts become clearer. Small tasks stop feeling so difficult. And here's the interesting part. Escaping the dopamine trap doesn't require deleting every app or moving into the mountains. The solution is much simpler, but also much more uncomfortable. And that's exactly what we'll explore next. Block 6. The way out is simpler than you think. Here's the good news. Your brain is incredibly adaptable. The same way it learned to crave constant stimulation, it can learn to enjoy normal life again, but not overnight. The mistake most people make is trying to quit everything at once. They delete every app, hide their phone, promise themselves they'll never scroll again. 3 days later, they're back where they started. Why? Because your brain hates extreme change. It prefers small, repeatable habits. So instead of fighting your brain, work with it. Start with your mornings. Don't touch your phone for the first 30 minutes after waking up. Go outside, drink some water, stretch. Read 2 pages of a book. Write down your plan for the day. At first, it will feel surprisingly uncomfortable. You might even feel bored. That's normal. Boredom isn't the enemy. It's the reset button your brain has been avoiding. For years, people have treated boredom like a problem. But boredom is often where your best ideas begin. Think about it. How many great ideas have you had while endlessly scrolling? Probably not many. Now think about your best ideas. They often appear during a shower, a walk, a quiet drive, lying in bed before falling asleep. Moments when your brain finally has room to think. That's something constant stimulation takes away. It steals silence. And without silence, your brain never gets a chance to create. This is why many successful writers, athletes, entrepreneurs, and artists Intentionally spend time away from screens. Not because screens are evil, because attention is valuable, and they protect it. Which brings us to the biggest mistake of all, the one almost everyone makes during summer. Block 7. The biggest summer mistake. People think summer is for taking a break, and they're right. Your brain needs rest. But rest and endless stimulation are not the same thing. Watching videos for 8 hours isn't rest. Neither is scrolling until 2 in the morning. Neither is checking your phone every 5 minutes. That's stimulation. Real rest looks different. It's sleeping enough, walking outside, having long conversations, playing sports, reading without distractions, spending time with family, doing one thing at a time. Ironically, these activities produce less excitement in the moment, but leave you feeling far better afterward. That's the difference. The dopamine trap gives you a quick reward, then quietly takes away your ability to enjoy everything else. Real life works the opposite way. It asks for a little effort first, then gives you a much bigger reward later. And that's the choice you make every single day. Not between work and fun, but between instant pleasure and lasting satisfaction. Summer doesn't have to destroy your focus. It can become the season where you rebuild it. While everyone else spends 3 months training their brain to crave distractions, you can spend 3 months training yours to become stronger. Just imagine where you'll be by the time autumn arrives. So, summer isn't the problem. Dopamine isn't the problem. Technology isn't even the problem. The real problem is letting instant rewards become your default way of living. Every swipe, every notification, every just one more video teaches your brain to expect easy rewards. And over time, that makes meaningful work feel harder than it really is. But the opposite is also true. Every time you choose to read instead of scroll, to walk instead of refresh, to create instead of consume, you're rewiring your brain, one decision at a time. Remember, focus isn't something you're born with. It's something you train. And this summer, you have a choice. You can let the dopamine trap quietly steal the next 3 months, or you can use those same 3 months to build a level of focus that most people never develop. So here's today's challenge. Tomorrow morning, spend the first 30 minutes without your phone. No scrolling, no notifications, just you and your thoughts. Try it for 1 week, then come back and tell us what changed. If this video helped you see your habits differently, leave a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who keeps saying, "I'll start tomorrow," because maybe tomorrow starts with what you do today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.